What's up, Monobrats? It's Spiritual God here, and welcome to part 2 of What If Goku married Android 18. And the previous episode was like 100 views, and here I am with part 2 of that What If. And so I'm gonna take a break from the other What Ifs, that being what if Harry got his magical core earlier. Then what if you could say Itadori had no limits, as well as what if Naruto was a censor. I'm just gonna take a break from it so I could finish this what if, because I have this lot of ideas in my brain for some odd reason, and I just want to do what ifs, but I also want to finish those what ifs. So yeah, I'll just finish one by one instead of going to the another what if. So yeah, anyways, if you guys want to see the previous video, the link will be in the description below or in the icons above. Yeah, it will be in the link in the description below or the icons above. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get watching. So in the previous video, I did tell that Gohan would be better off training with Master Roshi than Piccolo, but I didn't really explain it that much, but now I'll explain it so we could continue with the what if. So the reason why I'm saying that Gohan would be better off with Master Roshi instead of Piccolo is because number one, Gohan wasted like 6 months of his training arc or training time while surviving in the wilderness. But it was kind of his character development to understand that fighting is necessary for his survival. But yeah, that was that. But Piccolo really didn't train him in the ways of martial arts until the time chamber, because until then mostly Gohan was like brute forcing through things just like Piccolo would. But after Piccolo died, he started focusing more on skills. And after Goku and Gohan went to the time chamber in the canon storyline, that's when Gohan came out a much better martial artist. But now, because this story is different, I mean, this Gohan is different because number one, he has kind of a blonde hair, but number two, he isn't. He is kind of interested in he's kind of interested in fighting. That's number two, and he doesn't need to push down his Saiyan nature for the sake of his mother, because his Chi-Chi didn't really fighting. I mean, after she and Goku got married, she didn't really like fighting. I still don't understand why the hell is that. But as I said, Gohan, Gohan doesn't have any martial arts experience until he trained with Goku. So why not let him train with the martial art expert earlier than in canon? So as I said, Master Roshi would be training Gohan, and Android 18 or Lapis Lazuli and Goku would visit Gohan from time to time, and when the full moon comes, they would take Gohan to a secluded area where Gohan can release his desires and become an Ozaru and rampage on stuff. And this kind of also helps Goku on some things which I'll explain later in the video. So as I said, Gohan would be learning the basics of martial artist, and a year would pass. Now what about the humans? Well, the humans don't really change anything in the story, so they would be still stuck with Kami, and that training would still go on. Now what about the four main characters, that being Lapis, Lazuli, Goku and Piccolo? Now Piccolo begrudgingly agreed that, well, Goku is stronger than him, so he just needs to take. So if he wants to rule with the planet, he has to begrudgingly accept the training that Goku and the others have. So during the time, the 1 year training arc, Goku, Android 18 and Piccolo would be training intensely. Goku, Lapis and Piccolo would be training intensely, while Lazuli would also train intensely, but not that much, because number one, she's a mother, so she has to take care of Gohan, and as well as she has a company, so that she also has to take care of the as well, but she wouldn't slack off in her training during the year. This would raise her power level to around 10,000, which is kind of high, surpassing Nappa. But what about Goku and Piccolo and Lapis? Lapis and Goku, since like they don't have really anything to do other than train, except for Lapis having the ranger duties that he needs to do from time to time. Goku and Lapis would be at a power level of 15,000 at the end of the year, while Piccolo would be at a power level of 11,000, which would be like a lot than in canon. But the thing that separates Goku from the others, not the others, that means, but from his canonical self, is because that number one, he doesn't have any gravity training. Number two, he doesn't have Kaioken. That's going to be like a big loss, but I have like a different way to fix that. But while during the training, Android 18 suggested, why do I call him Android 18 over and over again? Yeah, Lapis suggested Goku using the Ozaru form in his the Ozaru form in his base state, which Goku would really like the idea of, and Gohan going Ozaru like time to time would let Goku have the feel of that feeling that changes him into Ozaru, and him like sensing in his body where it is, he would just like grab it, causing Goku to turn Ikari. Now since Goku has a lot more control than has a good control over Ozaru, the Ikari would be not hard, but still, since this is the first time he has like access to Ikari, he would be in trouble controlling it. But since Android 18 is there to motivate him and tell him encouraging things, he would be able to not master it more or less, but he would be able to learn it where he doesn't have to go berserk all the time. He will be able to like easily maintain it. That's what I'm trying to say. And Piccolo, well, that really doesn't change because Piccolo still has a power level of 11,000. And yeah, the humans would be a little bit stronger than in canon, all around 2000s, but that doesn't really change. So 11 months after the death of Raditz and him informing about the Saiyans coming, Vegeta and Nappa would arrive. Now you might be thinking, why the hell would Vegeta and Nappa arrive to Earth for not searching Dragon Balls? Well, it's simple, because Goku's power level, that being at 15,000, that being 20,000 at time, at that Ozaru, when Goku and Raditz fought, Goku's power level was at 20,000, like with the Ozaru form, surpassing Raditz, and Vegeta having a stick up his ass. At that time, did not like it, and plus it's kind of revenge to Raditz, as well as getting the Earth for sale, as well as like taking Kakarot and his hybrid son, who might have a lot more potential than anyone in the entire world. So maybe Vegeta could use Kakarot's son as a training partner, you could say, but that never gonna happen, by the way. Anyways, Vegeta and Nappa would arrive, and they would destroy a city, which would anger the Z fighters, and Vegeta and Nappa would arrive at the location where they sense the high power level, which would be around 100 and 200s, since everybody is suppressing their power at this point. So what would they do? Or well, what would Piccolo do? Not Piccolo. Yeah, what would Gohan and what would the Z fighters do at this point? So Nappa would plan the Cybermen, which would cause to attack, but the humans would take care of it easily. And yeah, Yamcha would be surviving at this point. But then Nappa would decide to come in, but that's when Piccolo steps up, because he wants to have a fight. So he would get ready, and now due to Piccolo being in a suppressed state, his power level would be around in the 500s, but he's suppressing it, as I said. The fight would start, and during the fight, Piccolo would release more of his power until he would release full of The entire power, which Vegeta would read as 11,000. Nappa would be shocked, and Piccolo would take this chance to beat the shit out of Nappa and end him with the Masenko. And Nappa is dead. I think, and Piccolo is not going to like spare him like Goku would do normally. After Nappa dying, Vegeta would come up like cursing Piccolo, but that's when Goku would step up with the power level, like removing his upper state, showing Vegeta's not full power level but his overall power level. And Vegeta and Goku would have the fight, and since, well, where Goku is at a power level of 15,000 while Vegeta is at a power level of 18,000, causing both of them to fight kind of equally, but Vegeta has the upper hand in terms of strength. And yeah, in terms of strength, Vegeta has the power, but in terms of tactical genius as well as martial arts expertise, Goku has the upper hand, so it kind of evens out. But that's when Vegeta decides to go all out and increases his power to 20,000, while Goku also decides to go all out and he reaches his power level of 17,000. If you guys didn't know, Vegeta was like, if you guys didn't know, during the final fight between Goku and Vegeta, Vegeta skyrocketed his power level to up to 20,000 from his 18,000, meaning he was using his entire power to fuel the Gallic gun. And so yeah, anyways, as I was saying, Goku and Vegeta would have a fight, and this would cause Vegeta to get angry, so he would go up. He would fly up to the above the planet, and he would prepare a Gallic gun to end the Earth, because like for being 20,000 is enough for being a planet buster, supposedly, as I was saying. So Vegeta would use all of his energy to release a Gallic gun, while Goku would use the Kamehameha, stopping Vegeta's Gallic gun. But since Vegeta overpowers Goku, the martial arts expertise as well as the tactical mind is not going to come in advantage when there's a beam struggle. So the Vegeta's beam slowly overtakes Goku, but that's when Goku buffs up, decides to go to do something just for a second. So he buffs up, his hair stands up, and a green aura surrounds his body, and this causes Goku's Kamehameha to overpower Vegeta's Gallic gun, sending Vegeta flying, and he falls down to the rocks, where Vegeta gets up after a couple of minutes, and he's damaged badly. And due to this damage, his power level reduces to that of 12,000, and he flies back to where the Z fighters are, and that's when he releases the power ball again, because since he knows that Goku doesn't have one, he would release the power ball and Vegeta would transform into his Ozaru form with a power level of 120 million. 120,000, not 120 million. Goku would start to fight the Ozaru, and that's when the Z fighters and Gohan and 18 or Lazuli would try to jump in, but both Piccolo and Lapis would stop them and tell them to watch. Due to the fact that Goku is small, he's able to easily outmaneuver Vegeta as well. Slaps, more or less. But Goku, having enough of this, he would start powering up to his full power, which would change his aura, which would change his ki surrounding his body from white to green. He would bulk up, his hair would start standing up, his eyes, which were black, would turn green, and he would let out a primal roar, which shocks Vegeta, and there he stands in the full glory of Ikari form. Goku would look at Vegeta, and he would start attacking Vegeta. Now Vegeta, due to a shock that Goku possesses this much power. I mean, Vegeta can't sense the key that how Goku's power level is, but he can just feel the aura. So that's that. So Goku's power level with the Ikari form is 150,000, and actually, Goku overpowers Vegeta at this point because Vegeta's power level was nearly dropped down to 12,000 due to him getting overpowered by Goku's Kamehameha before. So Vegeta, well, due to the power level gap between both Vegeta and Goku, as well as the fact that Vegeta is like humongous, Goku is easily able to weave around and punch Vegeta when needed, as well as fire a Kamehameha in his eye, blinding him. But that's when Goku decided it should be over, so he goes back towards the tail and fires a full powered Kamehameha, destroying the tail and making Vegeta shrink down to his base form. Piccolo would step up to finish Vegeta, but Goku would stop him after like returning to his base form and letting Vegeta go. Now, since Vegeta and Nappa have never killed anyone, no Yamcha's death, no Tien's death, and stuff like that, everyone is alright to leave Vegeta. And Vegeta is much more damaged than in canon. So Vegeta just barely summons his pod and he like crawls up to it while all the Z fighters stare at him with amusement mostly, while Gohan is just crackling up. I mean, Gohan's not like some sadistic bastard or something, but he's just cackling up because Lazuli said so, and this would enrage the Prince of All Saints being humiliated by these low class people, and he would set out to his revenge by getting immortality. Now, after Vegeta goes to planet 69 or 79, I forgot what planet it was, but that is the planet where Vegeta goes and heals. So yeah, he would go to the planet, and the soldiers there would pick Vegeta up and throw him to healing chamber where he would heal. Now, and yeah, he would heal while someone else with the name of Lord Frieza would go to Namek. Now, since Goku and the team has not lost any Z fighters, they don't really have a need to go to Namek. So they would stay around. A peaceful era would be started for around a couple of months, since Piccolo has been evolved from his evil ways by Goku. I mean, come on, Goku's characterization kind of changes villains to kind of anti-heroes or heroes. I mean, he kind of changed Piccolo and Vegeta. Well, Piccolo was changed by Gohan, but still the same thing. So how does Frieza know about the Dragon Balls? Well, simple. When Nappa blew up the city, Nappa boasted the Z fighters about these pathetic humans. But that's when Gohan, blabbed about the fact that there's Dragon Balls to, revive every people, which Goku would just sigh, and like everyone would kind of facepalm, which Gohan wouldn't understand. So he would ask, did he do something wrong? But Goku would just shake his head and ruffle Gohan's hair, saying, well, kind of, but it doesn't really matter. Gohan would be kind of not devastated more or less, but he would be kind of down that he kind of revealed some secret which he didn't know about. So yeah, this was when the fight really started. So the transmission was still on to Frieza, who heard it by hacking Vegeta's scouter. And after learning about the Dragon Balls existing, he also hears rumors about Dragon Ball being in Namek, and since Namek is more closer to him than Earth, he decides to go there. Now, what happens there? So let's go to Frieza's side of things, or the outer space side of things. Frieza would land on Namek, while Vegeta would wake up from his healing chamber, and after hearing that Frieza is going to Namek to find the Dragon Balls from Kui, he would take off to Namek to gain immortality. And Vegeta's power level would be at 25,000 instead of 24,000 because, well, he was weakened much much more than a little more than in canon. So yeah, this power level seems okay, but spoiler alert, it really doesn't matter. So Vegeta would land on Namek at the same time as the Frieza forces, or well, or his canonical self. And since the group isn't really there, they have no three-way hunt for the Dragon Balls. Not Vegeta. The Frieza and Midoriya and Zarbon would attack a village where they would, yeah, they would attack a village where they would ask the Namekians to hand over the Dragon Ball, but they wouldn't do it. So he would, the Zarbon and Midoriya would massacre them all with only few survivors remaining. Frieza would point a death beam at a small Namekian named Dende, but his brother named Cargo would jump in front of him, getting shot, I guess, more or less, getting the dead beam in his chest, killing him. But that's when Mori, another elder Namekian, would jump up and destroy all the scouters, causing Frieza to get angry and kill him. And Dende and Zarbon and Midoriya kill the rest of the survivors, leaving only a shocked and almost unconscious Dende. Frieza would decide to just have him as a bait, more or less, as a prisoner. So he would tell Zarbon to take away to take the little Namekian to the space to this ship and lock him up, and Zarbon would do so. Now since the Z fighters are not there, they won't be able to save Dende, but Dende would still be alive because Cargo, his brother, would sacrifice him for him. But since the group isn't there, Midoriya wouldn't follow them. In turn, Midoriya wouldn't meet Vegeta and Vegeta wouldn't kill him. So yeah, that's kind of good for Midoriya, I guess. But yeah, Vegeta reaching Namek would first destroy Scouter and then kill Pui. Then Kui, finally starting to rebel against Frieza. And since the battle with during Earth, he kind of has the ability to sense. He can't like fully sense it since he's still inexperienced in sensing. So he would start hunting the Dragon Balls while massacring the villages, laughing mostly. And this would eventually alert Frieza, who would send Midoriya to check it out, while Zarbon is in the prison chamber looking after Dende, not like taking care of him, but just looking after him so the little kid doesn't escape. What is his name? Midoriya would fly towards the known location where he would meet Vegeta, and their fight would still happen with Vegeta killing him. Now since Midoriya is dead, there's no communication between him and Frieza, causing Zarbon to be sent to find what happened to Midoriya, which would in turn cause Vegeta to meet Zarbon, and Vegeta, being more confident, thinking he can take Zarbon, would fight him, but Zarbon would go to his ugly ass self and defeat Vegeta and bring him back for questioning, which would cause Vegeta to be in the healing chamber, where he would get the Zenkai, break out of it, steal Frieza's Dragon Balls and fly away where he kept his Dragon Balls. Now the only place that the Dragon Balls is safe is Guru's place. And since Vegeta kind of has a better sensing ability, he knows that someone strong is there. Now, what about now? So Frieza realizing that Vegeta has stolen the Dragon Balls would send Zarbon to find and kill Vegeta and bring the Dragon Balls. And I would also call the Ginyu Force because there are no scouters, which would mean the Ginyu Force would be arriving. So yeah, that's that. To bring scouters and stuff like that. So Vegeta would hide the Dragon Balls, but yeah, he would hide the Dragon Balls, and Vegeta would come face to face with Zarbon, and Vegeta would this time kill him. Now Vegeta would be at, I think he was at a power level of, honestly, yeah, I don't care what he is at a power level of, honestly, at this point. So, as I said, Vegeta would fly away and would try to go to the Guru's place, where he would be destroyed by Nail. But that's when Frieza would come in, see Vegeta, and see Nail, and Nail would fight Frieza, and Frieza would like toy with Nail for a bit, and he would easily finish him off, not killing him. He would just put Nail into a like a painful state, while Frieza goes into the den where Guru is and snatches the Dragon Ball as well as kills Guru. Now, since he doesn't know the Dragon Balls were connected to the Namekians or Guru, him killing Guru kind of made a fatal mistake, causing all the stones to be white. And Frieza, seeing this, would be enraged and wanting to know what happened, so he would quickly go to the nearest Namekian, that being an injured Nail, and ask what would happen, or will shout at him to tell what would happen. And Nail, after realizing what Frieza just did, would tell him on his face that just because he killed the Grand Elder, the Dragon Balls are useless no more. Frieza, being pissed for his own ignorance, as well as Vegeta being there, quickly just erases Vegeta out of existence, picks up Nail and goes to kill him, but he stops. Because why would he stop? Because he decides to take Nail prisoner as well. So he would drag Nail's body towards the prison, and he would throw Nail into the prison, and he would tell the spaceship to leave planet Namek, which the spaceship would do. But just before they leave, the Ginyu Force would arrive into the Frieza spaceship instead of going to Namek. I just wanted to tell that because that's going to be important later on. And Frieza would come out of a spaceship, launch a death ball at Namek, destroying it. And then, since Dende and you could say Piccolo or Nail at this point, Nail would be injured and unconscious, and they would be like put into the healing chamber so they wouldn't die. And since Vegeta is dead, poor guy for him, thinking he could rebel against Frieza, get Dragon Balls, get immortality. May he rest in peace, by the way. So anyways, Frieza would then set course to Earth, and Frieza would come to Earth in a couple of months, where the Z fighters would be training like normally, not going like super high, but that's when they would sense an energy higher than anyone has ever sensed, even higher than Goku's, and they would all like go to where the energy was felt, and then they would meet Frieza. Well, Frieza would come out and ask them politely to give the Dragon Balls, and when asked why, Frieza would tell them about his wish, which the Dragon team or the Z fighters would not appreciate, so they would decide to not give it to them. And this is when Frieza would just sigh and tell his squad to attack them. All the Z fighter, the Frieza force would swarm the Earth and attack in different locations. This would be informed to the Z fighters by Bulma, who then decide. Then that's when they decide to split up. Goku, Gohan, Tien, Goku, Gohan, Krillin, Android 9 and Android 10, that being Lapis and Lazuli, as well as Piccolo would be stay here to take the main forces on, while the other Z fighters, that being Yamcha, Tien, Chaozu, that's all are there, would go around the planet destroying all of them. This plan would be agreeable and all of them would fly off. Now let's go to the humans. The humans would have really hard difficulty to fight all of these squads, because these humans, sure, they might be like stronger than in canon at this point, but still they are weak compared to the Saiyans. You really thought that these are humans during the Resurrection F saga or something? No, these humans are weak. So Tien does most of the job, while Chaozu uses his paralysm, and Yamcha just uses Spirit Ball and throws it into the soldier's mouth and destroying them from within. Mostly they do the same while the cities are different cities are attacked, while Z fighters or the humans, except for Krillin, that is, would go around and save and evacuate and do that stuff. Now the main Frieza 4, now the main squad of Z fighters, that being Goku, Gohan, the twins, Piccolo, and Krillin. 6 people would be standing off against Frieza and the Ginyu Force. Now, just before I forget, didn't tell what Gohan's power level was. His power level during the Saiyan Saga was around 2500, and now this, which is dubbed as the Frieza Saga, because since the Namek Saga really doesn't make sense because there's no Namek anymore, meaning Frieza would, it's called Frieza Saga. The squad would start to fight with Frieza staying back while Goku, Gohan, and Piccolo, and the twins and Krillin would fight off against hordes of Frieza soldiers, causing Frieza soldiers to die immediately because these 6, or except for Krillin, 5 are the strongest in the planet, especially Goku, who also uses his Ikari form fighting all the soldiers, causing Goku to like grow stronger as the time goes on, because Ikari form like makes you stronger, because the only Ikari form, the only time we have seen Ikari form is from Broly, and it kind of makes him grow stronger. His base grows stronger, not, I mean, his power level is multiplier isn't. His base grows stronger, so the more time Goku uses Ikari, his base grows stronger, causing his total power level to grow stronger, as well as his control to grow stronger against the Ikari form. That means after in a couple of minutes, every Z fighters have like finished off the Frieza soldiers, and that's when the Ginyu Force would arrive. Since the Ginyu Force have like 6 members, each of them would take on one. Krillin would take on Guldo, the twins would take on JS and Berta, Piccolo would take on Raccoon, and did I miss someone? I don't think I missed someone, right? Yeah, I think there are like the Ginyu, Raccoon, Jace and Berta, then Gildo, and I think those are the members. Yes, like five people. And Gohan would be with his father fighting Captain Ginyu. So let's go to the first fight. That being, well, Krillin versus Gildo. Now Gildo would use his time stopping abilities to, well, time stop, but Krillin would easily figure that out because he's a martial arts student. He would use solar flare to blind Gildo and use a destructor disc to easily end him off. But that's when the other humans come on in after like going through the world like couple of times to finish every Frieza soldier and evacuate everyone. I mean, the fight was a long one actually, because there are only small Frieza soldiers going around the world. So yeah, the humans are tired. That includes Krillin, by the way. So anyways, the Jace and Berta duo would try to, well, since Jace and Berta are stronger than Android 17 and Android 18, or well, Lapis and Lazuli at this point, it would mean both of them would be, well, not destroyed, I would say. Both of them with their amazing twin teamwork would easily face off against Jace and Berta, easily defeating them as well as killing them, by the way. Piccolo would fight with Raccoon, and since Piccolo's power level is at 15,000, and I think Raccoon's power level was at like 30,000 or 35,000 something, he was like stronger than I think he was stronger than Zabon, maybe, I forgot, but it really doesn't matter because Piccolo, with his techniques, which is easy, and with his martial art expertise, is easily able to like dodge all the stuff that Raccoon throws at him, because Raccoon's mostly like showing off his moves. So Piccolo is easily able to end him. Now what about Goku? Now Goku's power level, base 1, is at 90,000 due to all the fights that he had currently, and adding that to Ikari form, it's at 900,000. You might be thinking the power levels are absurd right now because it kind of matches that, but you guys have to realize that Goku, the Ikari form that Goku has, and eventually whoever will have it, is kind of destructive. I mean, like growth. It like gives growth to the base form. So yeah. Anyways, so Goku's full powered would be 900,000, while his base form would be 90,000, which would kind of surpass. It wouldn't surpass Ginyu. I think Ginyu was like 100,000 or 120,000 something. So Goku would still have to use his Ikari form, which would intend for Goku to get his body stealed. And Gohan, seeing his father getting his body stolen, gets enraged. And since Gohan knows his father, uh, he starts beating the shit out of Ginyu, or Goku Ginyu. And this rage boost gives him a humongous power, because Gohan's previous power level was at 5,000 when he started this fight, and during the fight his power level kind of raised to 7,000, and with this boost he kind of gets at a power level of 20,000, which is enough to beat a suppressed version of Goku Ginyu, who doesn't have full control over his body's power. And since he can't use Ikari form, as well as he's only using like a quarter amount of Goku's power, which is around 20,000. But since Gohan took a surprise attack, Gohan started with a surprise attack, he would be easily able to injure Ginyu, and Ginyu would try to like transfer body again. But that's when Goku, who's in Ginyu's body, would jump in, take his body, and Gohan, who's still pissed, would fire a Kamehameha, which he learned from Master Roshi, killing Ginyu. Now Goku's pretty badly injured, and they don't know what to do. But that's when Krillin comes in, and that's when Krillin comes in, gives Goku a Senzu Bean, and Goku gets to full health. Now since Gohan isn't Vegeta, so he doesn't brutally beat Goku, meaning he doesn't get that much of a Zenkai that he would normally get, but he would still get a Zenkai. So instead of his power level being at 3,000, his power level would skyrocket to about, his power, instead of being 3 million, it would be 1 million, just for inclusion's sake. So that's when Frieza would come in, and the fight would start, or mostly not the fight, but yeah, the twins kind of realizing that they are out of class here, they would step up. But that's when they would sense two power energies inside the Frieza's ship, and they would go there and they would find Dende and Nail inside a healing chamber, and they would break Dende and Nail out, because they look like kind of Piccolo. So and they would like take where Piccolo is, who's watching Goku and Frieza fight. Now Goku and Frieza would start fighting, with Frieza easily getting destroyed in his first form, and getting matched in his second form. Then that's when Frieza would get pissed off that he's getting destroyed, so he would jump to his third form. But that's when someone would just pass through him, kick him in the face, and sending him backwards. And when Goku would see who this is, he would be shocked that it would be Piccolo. Now how the hell did Piccolo come here? Well, as Android 17 and 18 or Lapis and Lazuli took both Nail and Dende to Piccolo, Nail seeing Piccolo would ask to give him tell him about this about the bonding. And since Nail is kind of a you could say higher power level, more or less at this point, meaning basically they would start fuse, Nail and Piccolo would fuse and would become brand new Namekian. And since this Piccolo is stronger than his canonical self, he would get even more boost, which would rival him towards third form Frieza instead of him rivaling to second form Frieza. So anyways, let's go continue. So third form Frieza and Piccolo would be fighting, and Goku would come back down to see fighting. But that's when someone would be healing him, and that would be Dende. Now since Dende didn't really unlock his potential, but that doesn't mean his healing capabilities also didn't unlock. but he does have a lot of trouble healing Goku, but he still gets healed. But that's when Krillin does save on one Sensubin, because he knows that if Goku really gets harmed, that's when the Sensubin should be used. Goku, after getting healed, would get a Zenkai at a power level of 5 million, and Goku would be ready, but that's when another power level would spike, and that would be Frieza. Piccolo would have pushed Frieza to a level where he would have released his second final form, and Goku would jump in the battle, not assisting. First, the fight would be assisting, but Frieza would easily overwhelm both Goku and Piccolo, and Goku would go into his Ikari form and start fighting Frieza. Since Frieza would be like using his 3% of his power. He wouldn't be expecting a power burst from Goku, and he would be severely beat down until he can get his composure back and go 60%. And Goku and Frieza would have their fight, with Goku growing as time passes, with Frieza not really noticing. But until Goku even surpasses his second stage, since Goku is exhausted, but since he doesn't have any spirit bomb, he needs to end this. But Frieza is also getting impatient. He's getting pissed off that this low class Saiyan, or this monkey, is fighting him, challenging him on a kind of an equal basis. But then he's also angered by the fact that there are people cheering him on, especially a kid who looks like him with the blonde hair, that being Gohan. So you could say Frieza, wanting to end this, would fire a beam to where Gohan is, and Gohan would be scared and stilled. But that's when someone would protect him, and that would be Lazuli. She would just look at Goku and smile and fall down and die. But that's when a rage-filled roar would spread across the land. Both Gohan and Goku would shout, seeing, one's love and one's mother dead in the ground. Gohan's rage is the fact that he couldn't move, causing his mother to sacrifice herself for him. Goku, seeing his wife getting killed in front of him without able to do anything, causing Goku to erupt. Both Gohan and Goku erupt into a form which is only known in the legends, Super Saiyan. But since Gohan's a kid, he gets knocked out instantly. But Goku isn't a kid. He is maintaining this form. But there's something different about this form. And that is the bulkiness that comes with it. Yes, it is blonde or golden, but there's a different aura covering it, that being green. Yes, this is the Ikari Super Saiyan. And boy oh boy, Frieza's in a load of pain. And he is getting smashed with a punch. Frieza goes to his full power, that being 120,000, but it doesn't even match for Goku, whose power level skyrockets due to the fact that his Ikari form is added on top of Super Saiyan, or in this case, Super Saiyan added on top of Ikari. So the boost is 500 times instead of just 550 times, causing Goku's power level to skyrocket from 5 million to Goku's power level from 5 million would jump to 2.5 billion. You guys just have to understand the power level that Goku is emitting right now, shaking the earth. His power level multiplier, that being 500, is stronger than that of Super Saiyan 3, that being 400. And Goku's base power is at 5000, and since Super Saiyan 3 shook the world, this is also shook when Goku was transforming. Now Gohan, who was at a power level of 20,000, since Gohan never unlocked his potential, Gohan's power level, I know I'm inconsistent with power level, but since it doesn't really matter, Goku's power level would be at 2.5 billion, and for Frieza, with the 120 million, I mean, that's it, gets destroyed. Goku's barely clinging to the fact his sanity, and well, Lapis picks up her sister's dead body and knocked out Gohan and takes them away, and Piccolo also takes Tende and takes him away, while Goku destroys Frieza and with the Kamehameha ends the Mad Tyrant once and for all. After this, Goku would come down, finally calming down enough to go back to his base form. Then Goku and the Z fighters would like search for the Dragon Ball, and first they would like reverse the damage and bring back everyone. And yeah, Android 18 would be brought back, and that's where we're gonna leave for this episode, guys. I know I'll leave it on a cliffhanger, but yeah, well, anyways, that's it for this episode, guys. If you guys like this video, like, share, subscribe, do the necessary stuff, and if you don't, I can understand. Peace out.